Strong for God Warriors, here to talk about life from a biblical and spiritual perspective. And today, I would like to share with you all how everything that happens in the physical world first starts off in the spirit world. So to begin this video, I would like to start off by saying in James chapter 2 verse 26, it says, "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." So that verse right there says two things. One, the physical body cannot live without the spirit, and faith without works is dead. Now, our whole point of being on this earth in this life is to please God, to understand things that God wants us to understand, and be kind of worthy of His glory. Now, I know in the book of Romans it says everyone falls short of the glory of God. But with Christ, you can become worthy enough to be worthy of God. Although we can only see the physical world, that does not mean that the spiritual world has no purpose. In fact, the spiritual world and the spiritual aspect of everything actually is more important than the physical world. Remember that even in the beginning, it says that God is a spirit. If you look back in Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, it says, "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." So that right there says that God is a spirit, and He, when He created the universe, He was around before anything. So I've seen a lot of people out here that think that they can only focus on the physical aspect of everything and forget about the spiritual part of everything. How can you sit there and focus on the physical part when the spiritual part was around before even the physical part? Alright, now think of your body, your physical body, as a TV, and think of your spirit as electricity. Now think. Can the TV cut on if it has no electricity? Can you plug a TV in, and if no electricity is in the outlet, can the TV cut on? That's exactly how the spirit works with the body. There could be no life in the physical body without the energy of the spirit. Remember, when you live this life on earth, remember that God is not looking at the color skin you have or what you look like in the physical body. God is looking at your soul, your spirit. He's not looking at all this stuff that you try to do in the physical body, because you can look beautiful in this physical body, but look absolutely terribly ugly in the spirit. And you look terribly ugly in the spirit when you are doing a whole bunch of sin and not following Christ. And after you transcend this life on earth, this physical body is going back to ashes and dust. In the Bible it says, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Therefore, there is no reason why you should only look at the physical part of the body and not the spirit. Because the spirit was around before all of this, and the spirit will be around after all of this. So the physical body will be lost in the process. So it's really pointless to only look at the physical body. Our enemy, the devil, do you think that he cares about how good you look? What he really cares about is where you commit vanity, which is a sin, so that you can go to hell with him. He doesn't care about how good you look. He just wants to make you look good so you can fall into vanity, so that you can go with him. That's the thing people don't realize. A lot of the stuff in this world is made of the devil. And the worst part is the devil don't even care if you feel good or not. He just wants your soul. But God cares about us. He wants us to be happy and live an eternal life. That's why He tells us to stay away from the ways of the world. That's why in Matthew chapter 16 verse 26, Jesus said, "What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul?" So that right there, you could gain the whole world, but if you forfeit your soul, you still will never be happy. And in fact, you'll live eternally in misery. But if you can trade anything for your soul, if you can fully give your whole life to God, then you can achieve more happiness than anything in the whole world. Remember that these are the last days, which means the devil will work as hard as he possibly can. So that's why you see a lot of this crazy stuff going on in the world. People are always trying to act like certain things are good when they're actually bad, and certain things that are bad are actually good. But no matter what's happening in the world, if you trust God, He will lead you. He will show you what path is right. He will show you how to strengthen your spirit. Because in the end, you have to choose between living in the flesh or living in the spirit. One will contradict the other, so you can't do both at one time. You can't have faith and not have faith. You can't work to strengthen the spirit and the flesh at the same time. Although I've heard people say that. Also, when you serve God, make sure you do it with everything you have. In fact, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37, He said, it says, Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, your whole existence." And then, if you go to John chapter 14, John chapter 4, verse 24, it says, "God is a spirit, and they that worship Him must worship Him in spirit and in truth." So, the whole point of this video is to get people to understand that the spiritual body is more important than the physical body. If you think you can live life just by looking at the physical body, then you will not be pleasing God. It takes your spirit to fully sit there and serve God to the best of your ability. You need to have faith, courage. You need to be willing to strengthen the spirit and not the physical body. It's good to take care of your physical body, but if you're going to leave the spirit part out of it, then your whole existence is destroyed. I always say to strengthen your spirit is to strengthen your whole existence. So if you keep that in mind, it should be pretty easy to understand that. And your spirit is what's really going to help you through this life. Like when things get hard, and I can tell you this from my own experience. Well, when things get hard, it's the spiritual part of you that's going to want to understand why things are going on the way they are. Because if you just look at this from a physical perspective, you don't get all the answers. Like, for example, in my life, the kidney disease. In my case, if I only looked at that from a spiritual perspective, a physical perspective, my life would be depressing because it would just be a never-ending cycle of going to the doctor and asking them what do they think I should do. But because I know God and I have a spiritual meaning behind everything, I understand that God is trying to prepare me for something better. I know that this whole kidney disease thing is only a attack from the devil to try to stop me from achieving what God has for me. But the whole point of God allowing me to go through this is to become stronger and become wiser. A lot of the stuff I say on this channel, I could have not known if I hadn't gone through that whole experience with kidney disease. Because things got so bad at times that I just wondered, there has to be a better reason for this. God doesn't just let anybody suffer for no reason. God doesn't just let somebody suffer if He didn't have a greater plan for them or a greater blessing. So I realized that God has greater blessings ready for me. He has it ready for y'all too. It's just that y'all have to be willing to strengthen the spirit rather than the physical body, because the spirit is eternal, but the physical body is not. So that's all I have to say for that. Hope you found the video inspiring. Hope you learned something from it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I have many more videos to share. I have a special video coming up with my baby cousin called How to Achieve Spiritual Success. I'm going to be talking about the age of accountability. I'm going to be talking about why it is dangerous to drink alcohol and smoke and all of that. I'm going to be talking about a lot more stuff. And y'all can also leave a comment down in the comment section to if y'all have another video idea. I'll do them all. Don't worry. If you write it down, I will go ahead and make a video about it. That's my promise. Alright? Be blessed, and remember, stay strong for God.